Don't even think about purchasing a new construction home in Biloxi without watching these do's and don'ts. And stick around to the end and I'll share with you why purchasing a new construction home over a used home can actually save you thousands of dollars in the long run. Hi, I'm Bryan David, broker owner of Expect Realty. Here are some do's to keep in mind when purchasing a new construction home in Biloxi. So first things first, find a great real estate agent to represent you in the transaction, one with a lot of new construction experience. You definitely want one in your corner. The sales reps for the builders or the builders themselves are really nice. They are very knowledgeable on the product, and you definitely need to talk with them. However, just keep in mind, they represent the best interest of the builders, and their goal is to get the best deal for the builders. So have somebody in your corner that represents you and is knowledgeable on the different neighborhoods and the different builders. Do your research. Check online reviews for all of the different builders. Read through the comments. Use the comments to formulate a list of questions from previous buyers' concerns or complaints. Not all builders are created equal, so check them out thoroughly. Most have online presence, so you can go to their website and look at their floor plans and the amenities each neighborhood has to offer. Do check for hazards in the area. Flood hazards, high tension power lines, any kind of industrial complexes that may be nearby. A good way to do that is to get on a Google map, put it on satellite view, and zoom in, not too tight on the neighborhood, but big enough so you can see the surrounding areas and look for garbage dumps and sewage treatment plants and things that may affect the value of your property in the future. Also research local businesses that are nearby, shopping centers and entertainment, and make sure that it's going to support your needs. Also look at your commute to work. Where are the major highways and interstates? The last thing on my list for you to research is the builder warranties. In Mississippi, builders are required by law to offer at least a 6-year home warranty. It's limited. It's very limited, actually. So make sure you research what they're actually offering, because many of the big builders actually offer longer warranties. Some are 7, some are 10 years long. And some of them have what they call a bumper-to-bumper warranty for the first year, where they're willing to fix just about anything, including blemishes in the sheetrock and cracking and recaulking, repainting. Do get a home inspection. Many buyers don't feel that they need to spend the $300 or $400 to have an inspection done since it is a new home. But believe me, contractors are human. They make mistakes. All it takes is for one guy to show up to work with the flu one day and his head's not quite right and make a small mistake that could be costly to you in the long run. In Mississippi, home inspectors that inspect new construction homes must have a special certification. It's called a new build certification, and it's designated by 2 letters at the end of their license number. Yes, the letters are NB. So you can go to the state website and look up any home inspector to verify that they have the NB on the end of their license number so that they're properly certified. I want to tell you a quick story. I once had a client, he bought one of the homes from one of the big builders, and he got a home inspection. He really didn't want to, but I encouraged him to do it. The home inspector discovered that an air-conditioned duct had not been properly connected to the vent box at the end, and there was cold air leaking out into the hot attic. It was causing condensation, and while it was a very small amount, over time it would eventually seeped into the insulation and the ceiling. So please get a home inspection done on your new home. I know it's brand new, but it'll be worth it. If you're going to be financing your home, definitely shop around for lenders. Many of the big builders have their own in-house financing, or they have preferred lenders. These builders typically offer pretty good incentives for using their preferred lender or their in-house lender. These incentives could come in the form of increased seller contributions to buyers' closing costs. The sellers could agree to buy down your interest rate for the first or second year, which could be a big help. And because the lenders work closely with the builder, sometimes they can accelerate the loan process and get you closed earlier. So definitely shop around and compare what the builders are offering to what your lender or other lenders might be offering. Now for the don'ts. Definitely don't rush into a purchase. Make sure that you research everything that I've just talked about thoroughly. New homes can have that same new car effect on people. Like when you walk onto a new car lot and you get into that brand new car and you just feel like you got to have it. Walking into that model home can have that same effect. So make sure you have a professional with you and do your research, take your time, and make sure it's going to be the right purchase for you. Don't ignore potential hazards. Builders are building in flood zones. The entire coast is actually in a flood zone of some sort. What you're really looking for are the special flood hazard zones. In these zones, lenders typically require that you carry flood insurance on the property. FEMA has something that they've established called BFE, which is base flood elevation, and that is what they've determined to be the safe place to build a house at. The local building authority usually require that you're a couple of feet above that BFE mark. Don't buy a house with a reverse slope without talking to a professional about where the water is going to flow. We get a lot of torrential downpours here on the coast, and if the ground is higher than the ground floor of your house and the slope of the hill slopes towards your house, it could potentially get flooded. Make sure you talk to a professional before purchasing a home with a reverse slope. Also, if the street is higher than the floor of your garage and the driveway slopes down to the garage, definitely have a professional check it out. Make sure that the drainage was taken in consideration. There have been new homes in brand new subdivisions where after a torrential downpour, the house received water. Check out the neighborhood and make sure that there's proper drainage in the neighborhood. It wasn't too long ago that a new build neighborhood had some serious flooding, like 2 and 3 foot of water in homes because the drainage system that was constructed in the neighborhood did not carry the water away fast enough. Don't neglect to check the builder's credentials. Get their license and check it with the state. Get their insurance and other information. Make sure you call the provider and make sure that it's still valid. Just because they issued it 6 months ago doesn't mean it's valid today. The builder could have had a claim against them and the insurance carrier could have dropped them. And my last don't is don't ignore the homeowners association. Ask the builder if there is one established already or what will trigger one being established in the future and how much it might cost. And as promised, here's why a new construction can save you thousands of dollars over a used home. My favorite is that new homes are typically much more energy efficient than older used homes, especially if those homes are 20, 30, 40 years old. The cost savings could be hundreds of dollars a month. Maintenance expenses would be much lower. You have a home warranty, you have new appliances, you have a new air conditioning system, the roof is new. So many things on a used home become projects and major expenses over the coming years. And the last thing is insurance will typically be a lot cheaper on a new home than an old home. Insurance providers scrutinize every detail of the home these days, much more than they ever did in the past. They want to know what kind of plumbing, what kind of wiring, how old the roof is. All of these things add up when you're buying a used home. On a new construction home, the answer is simple. It's all new. So those are my do's and don'ts and the bonus. Be sure to link up with an experienced real estate agent that understands new construction to represent you and ensure that what you purchase will make you happy for many, many years. Reach out to us. We would be glad to help. Watch some of my other videos on Biloxi and purchasing real estate here on the Mississippi Gulf Coast.